All right, just painted this yesterday. I think it came out pretty good. I still got to wet sand the whole car. It's pretty smooth, but it's got a hell of a lot of orange peel. Hell of a lot. So it started out as just a 325, and then I got the cage done. So it's a lot different from last time. We got the engine in, got the harness in. I wired up the starter, alternator, put some reflective tape for the hot side. Got the brakes ran, got the fuel lines ran. Got some fire sleeve over the fuel lines. Made a little carbon delete plate because I'm not running the fuse box anymore. And yeah, I did a conversion to AN lines for coolant. I just thought it would look better, and I hate hose clamps. So we got the dash in. We had to cut it pretty good, especially on that side. We had to cut it a lot just to get it to fit. But we got the Condor Lexan, just like the trailer windows in, and then the hard motorsport rear windows. I bought a CD7 dash with the GPS just so I could, just to make it a little easier, so you're able to switch between displays and all. Got the cooler work shifter in, the chassis mount, and I had to wire the car, so I started wiring it up. I still got to zip tie and make it all tight, but got my fuse box there pretty much, fuse and relay box. Got ground blocks, power blocks. So there's no more factory wiring in the car. Still running a stock fuel pump, stock fuel tank. Then we got the Condor rear Lexan window. And yeah. So pretty much the engine is a stock 1J, head studded with the Cometic head gasket. We got a tubular, I think it's like one of the Rev 9 cheap manifolds. I heat wrapped that, heat wrapped the turbo. It's a Borg Warner S257 SXE. Small turbo, should make my goal of 450. It's got a Greddy timing belt. I did a SFI dampener just because I didn't want this thing flying off, especially after I spent all this time to it. It's running on a AEM Infinity 6. So it's got all my gauges that I need. And it's got the Condor steering shaft. It's on excessive engine mounts with Condor. It's on excessive engine mount brackets with Condor engine mounts. It's got BC coils. It's on Apex arc 8s, 17 by 9 plus something. I forget. I think it's 33. I want to say. I don't know. I don't remember. I bought them so long ago. But yeah. Little project. We also got the carbon sunroof delete. I hate sunroofs, so got that in there. Oh shit!
What are you doing?
I had to repin the TPS because I had a loose pin. Hopefully. Also bought a new TPS because I'm not risking it. But this one doesn't want to slide on, so I'm gonna cut it. There we go. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Just like that. Hopefully it can go on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. So now I can grab the connector. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. So it goes 5 volt. 5 volt is first. Then it's your 5 volt reference. Come on. And then finally your ground. Ooh, that's sharp. Boom, click, click, click. Bring this up. About there. Then we go get our heat gun. Fuck, that was sharp. Dude, how did fucking... It gets hot. Gotta double check the pin out. I was like, oh shit. And look at that. Looks good as new. Hopefully it makes a better connection. Bought an eBay one hoping it would save me. Fortunately, wrong one. It sweeps the wrong way. Throttle actuator sweeps this way to open and close this way, not this way. It will be locked up. Alrighty. So now we go key on and hope something works. Probably not. We click 506 software because that's what I'm running. We go to Wizards. It's not looking good already. Hopefully this new sensor fixes it. Throttle range, see, 5 volts. So I still got a problem. So I gotta figure out that before I try to start it. So initially when the car caught on fire, I had a 5 volt reference fault. So I kept getting 5 volts no matter where the throttle was at. And I was trying to figure it out. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to start it. At that time, I think I had a bad ground for the injectors and it flooded the fuel. It flooded with fuel, hydrolocked the engine. It didn't like hydrolock while running, obviously. It just did it while key on, so it didn't bend the rod or nothing. So I had to pump the fuel out, and for some reason I left the ECU connected and the coil pack, so then it caught fire. I think I still have a video I could post real quick. And then that's the reason I painted the car, gutted the car, caged the car, because there was fire extinguisher stuff everywhere. Fire damaged a lot of stuff, so I had to pretty much start from scratch. So after all this, after I wired it again, I still got the same 5 volt reference all the time with TPS. So we just repinned it, and we just hooked it up to the Infinity in the computer, to the software. It's still reading 5 volts, so ordered a sensor from Toyota. Hopefully that's it, because I just repinned it. I did a pin to pin to the Infinity, and all looks good, so hopefully that's all it is. But yeah, we're gonna try to do some dash designs. So the cool thing about the CD7 is you can hook it up to dash design software. Then once it pulls up, you're able to change everything. I bought this computer for $100, so it's slow as hell. So once it loads up, it'll show the screens I have laid out. So there's my first screen. It's just a pretty generic screen. just everything I have. We're able to change every single thing. See, it runs off a can. So you have to wire the CAN bus into the dash. So these green and orange wires are the 2 CAN high and lows. But you're able to change everything on it. So my next dash design is also another pretty simple one. I like this one because it's got a big tack and you're able to see everything. But I wanted to swap the defaults. So hopefully I could just drag and drop. Probably not. I want this one to be first. Duplicate screen. Duplicate it to screen 1, possibly. Screen 2 will be overridden. That's fine. Nope, didn't do that right. All right. It's pretty easy though. You can just go here, go to screen, go to import screen, and then the Infinity has a lot of screens you could choose from. I'm pretty sure use the default ones. I'm not really that tech savvy to make my own screen. But there's the one I had. Which one? Ooh, I like this one too. Froze on me. There we go. Yeah, I'll do that one. So then we just got that screen number 1 now. So you can still have your odometer. You have to change your input. And then scroll down to whatever your cans hook up to. So then you scroll down to, should be odometer, or GPS odometer, because this is the one with the GPS. Where's it at? No. Yeah, just odometer right there. So then that inputs the odometer. This one is at GPS speed. Just gotta double check everything. To my AFR. It's the AFR. Water temp right here is a water temp. Boost should be to intake manifold pressure. And volts should be ECU volts. Oh, it's internal. Let's do EC volts. ECU battery voltage. And then this is obviously TAC, engine speed, RPM. And then you would do screen, export screen. Oh, wrong one. You would go to file, upload to display, and then you see the, after you save it, see it uploading. It says successful, successful, and you can close. And then once you disconnect it, it comes right up. So I bought the Hard Motorsport switch panel with circuit breakers. So if you see, each one has their own circuit breaker and light, knowing when it's on. If it trips the breaker, it trips that 5-amp breaker, and then you restart it. All the wires are on the back. So I'm just gonna use these as my fan. I'm gonna wire both fans, same input from switch, but the input from a switch is gonna power 2 separate relays for each fan. And then I gotta remount this. The Cooler Works comes preset in that detent right there. I have to move it down here because for some reason it shifts the best right here. When I put it into this middle detent, it feels a little too notchy. So I just gotta swap this over because right now it's got that play right there because I took this out and put it at the lower adjustment point. So once I take this out on both sides and put it in that one, it'll be nice and tight again. I got the Hard Motorsports battery cut off. I did it with my name because I'm a racer. And once you turn it off, if you wire it correctly, even with the car on, I have it wired to my alternator. My alternator powers to here, my starter powers to here, and the main battery powers here. So once you cut it off, it shuts the whole car off. As you see, everything just turns off. Then we turn it back on. Everything's gonna turn back on. The key on. Then we turn it off. Cuts the car off. Not supposed to do that many times. Not really good, but that's how it works. Wiring's super simple on this. I wanted it super simple. Nothing crazy. We flocked the dash. I don't know, I do that on all the cars I build, and I just think it's like the best thing, because if you know E36s, you know those fake leather dashes just reflect so much light, and it's the worst when you're driving in the sun and all that. And you don't want that. This looks 10 times better. The only downfall is right when you do it, you get some fibers going all over, but fuck it. Yeah, the guy tried to get on my paint. I had to chop him.